So Kyle Rittenhouse is making the rounds in Kentucky and Tennessee. And in this case, he's going to be appearing on March 27th at Western Kentucky University. Hey, Kayla, I'm sure you're going to be there, right? I mean, that's in her neck of the woods. At any rate, not everybody is happy about it. And we have here a change.org petition that is just too funny. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
One of the big problems with these petitions is that it's not clear who they're petitioning. I mean, ultimately, your petition has to go onto the desk of somebody who's a decision maker. But that's never specified. Okay, here we go. I am a concerned citizen of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Oh, deeply troubled by the prospect of Kyle Rittenhouse speaking at Western Kentucky University. Oh my God, this 21-year-old kid is going to show up on our campus and speak. This is personal to me because I believe that Mr. Rittenhouse interjected himself into the wrong place. Wait, why does that make that personal to you? Oh well. At the wrong time, and his actions are being used as a political point. Gee, I would never expect that a speaker at a public university might have a political bent to him. I mean, this has got to be a first. Turning Point USA is to blame for this. Okay. Kyle Rittenhouse was involved in an incident in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where he shot 3 people, killing 2. Okay, that's fair. His actions sparked nationwide debates about gun rights and self-defense laws. What do you mean, debates? You mean like 2 sides arguing over the morals and ethics of an event? Gee, I mean, it sounds like a university would be a great place to hold such debates. With that in mind, it's crucial to remember that university campuses should be places of learning. Oh, right. So learning, right? I mean, we have a person here with a controversial take on an important issue, and we don't want them around because we're a place of learning where students feel safe and secure. I still want to ask these people, look, what is it you're afraid is going to happen? What do you really think is going to happen if Kyle Rittenhouse shows up on campus? I mean, he was already at East Tennessee State University and nothing happened. He came in, he gave his speech. There wasn't even a scuffle as far as I know. No one got hurt. So what is it that worries you? Allowing Mr. Rittenhouse to speak could potentially create an unsafe environment for students who are already dealing with enough stress from their class load, aside from the continued threat of violence. Okay. Kyle Rittenhouse showing up on your campus is not a threat of violence. The people who are going to show up to listen to him speak are not going to go hunt down students after the speech and do something to them. I mean, it's not going to happen. The best way to handle this threat of violence is simply avoid the arena. I mean, if you're really concerned about what they are going to do, stay in your dorm room, go somewhere else. But that's not what's going to happen. The same people who are terrified of the violence that these people will inflict will show up and try to antagonize them. I mean, really, come on. Who are you fooling? This unsafe environment is a dog whistle for all those people who oppose gun rights to initiate threats. So they'll get the threats going and then they can say, oh, it's an unsafe environment. We're going to have to cancel the event. Because that's really about the only way you can cancel an event other than maybe an act of God is to claim that the person speaking is going to place people in harm. So what better way to get that done than to go on and stir violent tendencies among your own population, then use that to claim that, well, there's going to be violence if this person shows up, so I guess we're just going to have to cancel. Yes, that is a tactic. And this is what he's talking about. Unsafe environment, dog whistle. According to a 2019 study by the American Psychological Association, 45% of students reported feeling more than average stress levels. I like the way that he has to get in something that looks kind of academic in this, right? It's like, oh, I have to cite something, you know. Of course, he doesn't tell you 45% of what type of students. Are we talking about kindergartners? Are we talking about graduate students, undergrads, high schools? Who knows? But here's my take on it. If 45% of students feel more than average stress levels from being in college, good. It's supposed to be stressful. That means that you're taking classes that are challenging you. They are rigorous, and that the exams are rigorous, and that you have to study hard and you're worried about not doing well. That's part of being a student. But not to them. They want to breeze through their curriculum. I took graduate classes in physics, and one of them, especially what we called Jackson, which was classical electrodynamics, was a and that class gave me ulcers. But I was able to survive it. I made it through. They can too. Their sociology 101 classes are not really causing any problems. They're blow-off city. And of course, this statistic doesn't mean anything anyway, because you'd have to compare to the average population, not just students. So what if 60% of those who are not in college feel above average stress levels? Then it doesn't seem like 45% is so bad. So this is another mistake a lot of people make when it comes to citing statistics. You have to have a baseline. You have to have something to compare to. We must prioritize our students' well-being over any potential discourse that Mr. Rittenhouse's presence might bring about. See? We urge Western Kentucky University not to allow Kyle Rittenhouse a platform on campus for his speaking engagement. This is a blatant violation of our First Amendment rights. You might think, well, no, it's Kyle's First Amendment rights. Well, no, because the people that want to go and listen to him are also having their rights infringed. Western Kentucky is a public university. Those people who pay their tuition, who are pro-gun and pro-Kyle, they matter too. Unlike what the left really thinks, there are students on campus who don't agree with them, and they pay tuition just like everybody else. They have a right to hear people come on campus that they want to hear. Please sign this petition if you agree that we need to protect our educational institutions from becoming platforms for divisive figures like Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, because we don't want any divisive figures on college campuses. No, that would be the first. Kyle Rittenhouse showing up on campus? Well, that would be like introducing a divisive figure on a college campus. Oh my God, think of the floodgates that this might open. Dude, I'm telling you, political science departments, sociology departments, all of the liberal arts, they thrive on having divisive figures on their faculty. And in fact, they get in front of students who are a captive audience and go blah, blah, blah about their divisiveness all the time. Kyle Rittenhouse is speaking to a willing audience. People who decide that they want to go and listen to what he has to say. This is not like a classroom. In a Sociology 101 class, that is a captive audience that has to listen to that professor rant. Think about the difference here. And you might say, well, they didn't have to take the class. There are general ed requirements, all right? And I defy anybody to go through the general ed requirements and try to find a way to avoid that kind of leftist socialist talk. Good luck. Like my video, subscribe to my channel.